Alright, next video. This one I stole straight off of Pyrocynical because I saw him react on Pyro TV on his channel. And I thought it was interesting. Well, I didn't see him react. I saw the video and I just liked the title, so I wanted to react to it. Try Permadeath, you will regret it. As you all know, whenever I play Elden Ring, I'm like, if you cheese, you're a pussy. You know, you can cheese it. It's fine. You still beat the game, but you're a pussy. So basically, are you gonna play games this stream? Yes. What kind of question is that? So basically, this video advocates for permadeath, right? That's a bit much for me personally, because I think most games are not balanced enough to have permadeath, you know? If, for example, Elden Ring had permadeath, I think that would be one of the most broken fucking games in the world, especially considering the final boss of the DLC and Millennia. So I think permadeath is not that great in most games, because most games are straight up broken, at least somewhat, and not every single death will absolutely be your fault. Therefore, permadeath just feels fucking bad, honestly. Or can, at least. And especially in my case, where I get really unlucky with games, and I tend to get like game-breaking bugs, or bugs that should up lead to my death. You know, I don't really advocate for that. But hey, maybe this guy can convince me, so let's react to Try Permadeath, you won't regret it.
I can't get these games to click with me. On paper, I should love them.
Right.
Massive. Despite 28 hours in Ghost Recon Breakpoint and at least 5 characters in Wildlands, I can't get these games to click with me. On paper, I should love them. Massive, gorgeous worlds with tons of difficulty options, tactical Barbie, and synchronized AI stealth headshots? It is firmly up my alley. But everything feels pointless.
Sounds like a game for me too.
I've tried extreme difficulty, no HUD, but at the end of the day, the shooting feels mediocre, the missions are repetitive, and difficulty is only achieved through instantly being killed or removing the ability to run away. Not to mention the drones and mechs in Breakpoint. A low time to kill doesn't make a game tactical or hardcore, because regardless of if you die in 10 shots or 1, 10 seconds after you're done bleeding out, you'll be back in the mission in 5 seconds from where you were previously. This doesn't lead to fear or tension, it leads to frustration. But I found the secret to enjoying these games.
That's kind of why I don't like... Well, to be fair, that's why I don't like any of Doom's harder difficulties, especially because you can't really control if you get shot or not, you know? You kind of have to get shot, which just makes those difficulties really just seem kind of unfair to me, unless you're just like really good at killing enemies instantaneously pretty much before they can get a shot off.
Wildlands, at least. Breakpoint doesn't have it. And I found this secret in Assassin's Creed Mirage. No, seriously. Assassin's Creed Mirage is one of the most 5 out of 10 games I've ever played. It is a massive improvement from the last 9.
A lot of people say that, but like 5 out of 10 means nothing. Because this I guarantee you, no matter how bad this game is, it's not a 5 out of 10. It's definitely at least a 7 out of 10. For a very simple reason. What are we counting it on? 5 out of 10 in terms of good games? Or 5 out of 10 in terms of all of the games? All games. Because in terms of all games, even ones that are like actually made with passion and playable, I'll tell you right away, there's some stinkers out there, buddy. Even with those kinds of games, we're talking about like excluding the AI fucking generated bullshit, you know, that's on the market, or just like scams basically, or like a bunch of fucking visual novels that are made like in 5 fucking days with really low effort. All of those things, right? Even excluding all of those things, I doubt this is a 5 out of 10 game, because goddamn, a 5 out of 10 games 5 out of 10 means average. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say like mid for something like what game was it again that got like called mid? That was not mid at all. Atomic Heart. That game was called mid, 5 out of 10 game. It's like no. That's a 6 out of 10 game. that's 6 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is actually average. It's mid, meaning you can play it and you will not have any fun whatsoever probably.
9-ish years of Assassin's Creed games, in my opinion. Since it focused on being a stealth game,
it just gives you something to do essentially. It doesn't actually like stimulate your brain and be like, yes, okay, something's happening. Meanwhile, Atomic Heart, in my opinion at least, when I played it, at least had something there to, you know, latch onto, making it a 6 out of 10, although it was still very much, you know, kind of just like a, you shoot at a dummy, essentially, the entire time. Or, you know, on harder difficulties, you shoot at a dummy that has 1 billion health, and then you get one shot.
An assassin instead
by your shitty ass hitboxes, but which is why I played on like normal difficulty.
Other stuff. It's a game I like playing, but very well may never beat, because I have no interest in the story and its gameplay loop is easy and repetitive. But they recently added a mode called Full Synchronization. This is a start-to-finish permadeath mode. But Damien, the Butter Anvil, Orphan 6'9", Shadow the Hedgehog, Westopolis, that's an open world game with dozens of quests.
I mean, if he says it's like the loop is repetitive and easy, then how would permadeath change it? Because if it's so easy, then I doubt he's dying anyways. So what's permadeath add to the whole thing? I'd say nothing.
way too long to beat without dying. Then don't die, idiot. No, for real, that's actually my point. Figure out which difficulty involves you dying semi-often and go one below that. It's not about dying and feeling the punishment. It's about using the fear of the punishment to strongly encourage more tactical and in-character behavior. Let me give you an example.
Wait, so he's saying turn on permadeath and then go to easy mode. I mean, I don't know about that, buddy.
Mirage, you gain notoriety when you commit crimes, mainly murder. After the first and second levels of it, civilians will start to point you out to guards. This isn't the biggest deal. Even on the hardest difficulty, 1 or 2 guards isn't much to deal with. But after you max it out, Shakira? After you max it out, Shakira shows up, and as long as wanted posters stay up and criers are unbribed, she can't remember to forget you featuring Rihanna. They're immune to most range attacks, they have multiple unblockable attacks, they have throwing weapons, and they can hit you in the gap after you hit them if you don't get your timing right. In normal gameplay...
I mean, it would definitely change the game, definitely. Just, hope you enjoyed the subscribe I gave you, indeed. What was I gonna say? But I know there's like Darkwood, for example, which also has like permadeath, but that game I would never feel comfortable with playing like that. Because you can't actually, in that game, it happened multiple times, where I've gotten stuck in a corner and essentially couldn't do anything, or the enemy just straight up bugged out, and it would turn way too fast to attack me, and I just genuinely couldn't dodge. Like, it was impossible straight up. Like, it was an actual bug. They never act that way normally. They might have fixed it by this point, but like back when I played it a couple of years ago, it was buggy. It was quite buggy, and there was a lot of problems with it.
This enemy showed up.
Yeah, see you later, Alex.
If I win, it clears the bounty, and if I lose, I'm still just in the city like I was before. I only stand to gain by fighting, but with full sync on, I pop smoke and run away. I hit lifts, I jump across poles, I hide in water. I'm not picking a fight I don't know I can win. And this not only helps me play,
I mean, that just seems boring to me, to be fair, though. Like, just, constantly hiding and avoiding combat? It's like, nah, I mean... It's kind of mid, honestly.
The game's sandbox. It makes me act more like the character and play the game like it was intended to be played. Back to Ghost Recon. I normally play on the hardest difficulty, but I bumped it down to hard. I tried it with normal, but that was too easy. I found myself making mistakes and not really worrying about it, which destroys the point of the whole thing. But I started the game, and I immediately found my thought process to be more deliberate and, dare I say, immersive. When you start the game, you start near the top of a mountain with a vehicle, and without fail, every single time I've been here, I get in the truck and I try to drive down the cliff. But not this time. Too risky. I got to my objective and
I mean, I feel like that would make it more boring. I don't know, for me personally, right? I'd just be like, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, so I gotta drive for a bit longer now. I gotta sit there and fucking hold a single button for longer than I usually would. It seems boring to me. I don't know.
Everyone,
but just because I know that I can't do it otherwise or I'll die. What's the difference between like that then and Red Dead 2? Because Red Dead 2, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna respawn. If I like try and go down a fucking hill straight down, right? So what's the difference between that and this, where you just do the same thing, except this time you permanently die? Because either situation I have to go around. Either way I have to go around. It doesn't matter if it's permadeath or not. It just makes the process boring.
Crawl to a hidden position.
To be fair, in Red Dead 2, there's an exception, because Red Dead 2 is just fucking... The movement in that game in general just feels good, and walking around itself is just fun.
A minute or two droning out enemy locations. I used sync headshots with my team whenever possible, and when 3 enemies showed up, I took my time to prepare my shots. I droned the interiors of buildings. I scoped out high positions for snipers. I considered failing stealth to be failing the mission. Let me tell you another story from the early game. I was assigned to defend a rebel broadcast while the cartel sent men to destroy it. I placed myself close to the objective, but it was too close. Enemies showed up on 2 sides and pincered me. As they swarmed me, 2 of my ghosts went down and I took a round or 2 myself. My health was worrisome, so I pulled back behind a building while enemies swarmed the objective. I thought about pushing through to save it, but I couldn't risk going down, so I pulled back, ran up the hill, commandeered a vehicle, and drove away from the cartel's rifle fire, failing the mission. And god damn, it was so much more interesting than a mediocre gunfight.
I guess in a way I can see why that would be more interesting, but the thing is, I just don't like the thought of, like, you know, backing away from content and being like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do that content because it's too hard. Like, I feel like I would never do that. I would just literally just stay there until I died. Because for me personally, I don't care if it's permadeath or not. I'm like in Minecraft Hardcore, for example, right? I don't fucking see something. I'm like, no, I'm never gonna go there because it's too dangerous. Like, that's fucking boring to me. I want action. I want shit to be happening, man.
That's experience.
I want to do stuff in games. I just fucking go there and retreat.
I was driving down a winding mountain when I came head first.
You could probably like retry, but still. Operation Harsh Doorstop. Is that a horror game? I guess I could try it.
Cartel supercar. I cut him off, stood to the side, and set up a hasty ambush.
Yeah, also the thing is, yeah, same thing. Like, permadeath. If I make a lot of progress and I die, what do I do? Well, unless it's like a sandbox game like this, I'll probably just quit the game forever. Especially, like if the game has any kind of progress, like, fuck that shit. Like Darkwood, for example. Bro, if I make progress, I go all the way up to here in chapter 2, I think the permadeath. No, it doesn't. No, permadeath is permadeath in that game. In chapter 2, you go to the chapter 2, like, all the way, which is difficult to do. And then I just fucking die? Like, I'm not gonna do all of that again. Fuck that shit.
Didn't get enough rounds out.
Even Darkwood is a bad example because it has some RNG elements that make, like, replaying it fun. But, like, in a game with no replayability, I'm not fucking do it again. Fuck no.
Car, so I chased him down.
For games like this, maybe I could see the permadeath thing. Maybe like a game like Far Cry even. But
car with bullets, I pulled him out of the smoking car shortly before it exploded. I considered the battle won, so I started to squeeze him for intel. Unfortunately, I got ahead of myself because while I asked my questions, a PMC showed up on a buggy with a mounted minigun. It lit me up and I went down. Fortunately, you can be revived once per fight, and my team took it down. But
well, that's not permadeath then, is it? That's not permadeath. If you can get revived, the fuck?
That was too close for comfort. Let's go to a different direction. Let's look at Halo.
Yeah, Minecraft the hardcore is also an exception, yeah.
Most Halo players are probably aware of Lasso, or legendary all skulls on. Skulls are optional modifiers that generally make the game harder, but some are just kind of goofy.
Okay, well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure this has never been completed ever, right? Right? I think this is a bit like he's talking about Halo, right? This has never been completed until recently when Charlie did a challenge, or was that just for a speedrun? I forget which one that was. I think it was never ever completed with all skulls on. And Charlie like gave out a reward. Talk about critical, aka Penguin Z0. He gave out a reward for anyone that could complete it, I believe, and that's when it was first completed.
But instead of
because
going
it's just
all
way
out,
too difficult.
just won. The Iron Skull, no, not
as in like unfair, mind you, unfair, because obviously you can fucking block bullets basically.
The Iron Skull, so when you solo, restarts to current level whenever you die.
It's a Call of Duty.
No game fits the idea of being vulnerable in Halo, like Halo 3 ODST. When I took hits from the Covenant, the pained moans and character's attempts to calm breathing gave me the feeling that he was trying to mentally gather himself for the next push.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, he's clearly just got like a different way of playing games as opposed to me, for example. We'll watch this later, by the way. Because for me, for example, in Call of Duty, same thing. Like I played on veteran, right? I get shot. My screen goes all jelly, and my character goes like, I'm just sitting there like, okay, can I fucking like get on and shoot? I have to wait like 5 minutes now to gather my breath. It's just annoying to me. I play games not to stress. Well, for me, honestly, for me that's not the case. But like, still, I like don't like to sit and do nothing. It's annoying to me. It's boring.
And when I'm worried about them dying too, it really enhances the fantasy of what's happening on my screen. Even little things like the weightiness of crouch.
Especially like when it was up again at Call of Duty Veteran, where I peek out, my screen is instantly red. I have to back out. I can maybe like take out one guy, and the issue is that guy respawns immediately after.
The experience feel more grounded than other Halo.
I imagine I finished the whole thing.
I didn't go all the way to legendary. I went with
and other games as well, just offline.
Exploration missions, especially, I found myself counting targets and preparing my position before engagements. Brutes got treated like major threats.
Yeah, again, like from what I know, this is Halo, correct? That is what he said. I remember the skulls thing is from Halo. Yeah, it is Halo. Is it still Halo? Because yeah, it is actually. I see the weapon. That is Halo. I was gonna say, and I understand why you would play tactically in a non-tactical FPS. It's like Halo. I'm pretty sure is not tactical FPS, is it? I know Call of Duty fucking sure says it. I can't fucking count my enemies in Call of Duty and be like, okay, there's like this many enemies. I'm gonna do this and this and to get past this like thing. Not like no, I just fucking shoot everyone I see pretty much because I have to.
And became priority targets. My first death was to hunters on the 2nd level, and when I got to that part again, I discovered that you can avoid them and just go around to continue the mission. I've played this game for 10 years and never done that.
I mean, again, avoiding content's kinda mid. It's like playing Dishonored, for example, right? But I just ignore everyone. It's like, I mean, I could, but like that's kind of boring.
Wasn't as drastic in Halo. Generally, you're trying not to.
I want to at least anyway, like kill them or knock them out. You know, do something. Like just fucking standing around. Like, or like finding a way around without anyone noticing me. It's kind of fucking, it makes me kind of sleep.
I was definitely more invested in surviving, and it helped me appreciate the world a lot more. Especially because I felt like I was in the shoes of my character. Definitely would recommend. Then I had a completely different idea. What genre allows for tons of variation in playstyle, tons of preparation before engagement?
No, you did not fucking do Fallout, or like, you did not do... If he does a Bethesda game with permadeath, dude, that's literally what I was talking about earlier, how like deaths are completely out of your fucking control. Like there could just be a random mine somewhere, you just step on it and you die. It's like, but it's bullshit. What the fuck? Or like, whatchamacallit? Just running into like an enemy that's overpowered. You just die, he just one-taps you.
completely different direction every run. Oh my god, modded
Unless,
New Vegas.
again, the only way to do, like, play it like this is to know the inside and outside of a game. Where you're supposed to go, where you're not supposed to go. Where the overlevel enemies are, like, which level you should be for each area. Then I could see this argument. But otherwise, like, if it's your first playthrough, fuck no. No! You literally get fucking one tap by, and be like, what the fuck, what was I supposed to do?
It's roguelike. I already had an installation of Fallout New Vegas with about 150 mods on it, so it was easy to add one more. Dead is Dead is a mod for Fallout New Vegas that allows for many configurable forms of permadeath. You can choose between 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 lives when you start a new character. And if that's a bit much for you, you can enable a new life every 2 levels or upon drinking a special Nuka-Cola drink. If you aren't willing to commit to Iron Man like I have, I still recommend this mod. It's very well designed. Once you die, you get a fun screen with stats about your character, and if you're afraid you'll cheat yourself, the mod has safeguards for that too. If you reload an old save, they won't let you play if you've died, and the only way to load saves from gameplay is to go to the menu, so you can't abuse quick saving and loading. Combine this mod with the alternate start mod that lets you delay the main quest, and you have a recipe for interesting stories and super intense gameplay.
I mean, I suppose, but like, again, it's not exactly tactical, so super intense doesn't really mean much. It's not like Stalker, for example. Like, I like Stalker, for example. Even though, like, you lose pretty much all your items, right, when you die. I still like that a lot. Because, well, I'm talking about Stalker Gamma specifically, which is the only one I played. Where I wouldn't play on permadeath, but I would play on, like, you need to rest on a bed to save. And then if you die, you just respawn at that bed, but time moves forward. It's not like time stop. You like skip forward in the day, and all of your items are back there, like your whole backpack's dropped. You have to go back and pick up your items, even though there's an enemy there. Which, by the way, you don't have a gun, obviously, or you start out with a pistol. I forget which one happened again. I think you just start out with nothing. So you just have to go back there and retrieve your gun, which leads like to interesting scenarios where you gotta bait the enemy away, grab the gun, and then shoot them quickly and stuff, shit like that. And it makes firefights also more intense. And again, like avoiding firefights, I mean, yes and no, because I would avoid them at times, and then at other times I wouldn't. What I would do often is I would see a firefight happening. I'd be like, okay, do I have a save point nearby? I go save, and then I go fight. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like permadeath, then like I wouldn't even fucking bother fighting, because I'd be like, just, well, no, I'm gonna fucking die, because it's, you know, it's a group against me, and it's basically one tap for all of us. So I'm gonna fucking die either way, so I'm not gonna do it.
Luke was the sergeant in the NCR until one day.
I'll just loot shit around to like gather loot that way and trade for shit and like hunt mutants, which will give me like less, you know, trouble, because they can't shoot me with a bullet. They have to get close to me. I can just stand on top of like a barrel and just shoot down on them or some shit.
Superior with the wrong kind of connections, and found himself wandering away from Shady Sands into the Mojave in search of something. He wasn't known for much, and he certainly wasn't well liked. But he was
again, I understand why you can't do this without permadeath as well. Like you could roleplay just as easily without permadeath. I did it with my I did it with Skyrim VR, which I really want to start a series on Skyrim VR, bro. I really want to start playing that for streams. Unfortunately, it's summer, so it's really hot, so I can't really do that. But it would be really cool if we could do that, because the roleplay potential of that fucking shit is insane. Like I got so many mods. I got actually so many mods. It's insane.
Had eyes like a falcon. He was a master of breathing control and always took his time to make sure he hit his target.
By the way, let me pull up the game that you recommended on the second screen and see what it's about, all this place.
Even if his trigger finger left something to be desired. He considered himself a bit of a survivalist, and he preferred to sleep under the stars. He arrived at the Mojave outpost and quickly got acquainted with the NCR station there. He killed some ants to clear a road near the outpost to make some money. After that, he talked to a scout named Ghost, who asked him to check on a nearby town called Nipton. When he got there, he saw a flag he hadn't seen in a long time, and it was still too soon.
Isn't this an online game that you requested? This seems like an online game to me. Right? Early access game. Online. Yep. I mean, it says single player as well, but I'm not sure. Probably single player with bots, right? Also, fucking no gameplay. Gotta look at the trailer. What is this? Oh, just a tactical shooter, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll play that. Especially considering it's team-based. Like, you probably need, like, friends to play that efficiently.
The Legion was here. He creeped along the edge of the town, doing his
I
best
doubt
to
with
get
randoms it would go well.
Leveled his sights and took his shots. At least one of the bastards went down, and he broke contact. Eventually, he made his way to the other side of the town. He fired some more, and he threw every grenade he could. And miraculously, the firing stopped, and quiet returned. They were all dead. Nice. He looked down the road at the crucified powder gangers and decided that whether they were scum or not, they didn't deserve this fate. He tried to take one of them down, but realized there was no way to do it without killing them. So kill them he did. Clean shots.
There was no way to do it because the game doesn't let you.
To the head for each. Realizing what kind of a threat the Mojave was dealing with, he realized he had to head north to get in touch with NCR leadership. He couldn't let these atrocities continue.
It's funny how, like, whenever you roleplay yourself, right, it's not really cringe, but whenever I hear someone else roleplaying, I just immediately cringe if they're taking it seriously. This guy's taking it seriously, so I'm kind of cringing, but at the same time, I can, like, imagine myself doing the same exact shit, you know? Like, again, like Skyrim VR, I would fucking roleplay the shit out of that, bro. I would fucking sit down, literally for no reason. There's no gameplay benefit to this. I would, like, there's a mod that lets you basically actually, when you sit on a chair, like, the screen goes black, you sit down in real life, you click on the thing, and then you're, like, sitting on the chair. And then, like, a person comes over to you, a bartender, you can order food, you can get, like, an actual drink, and you can, like, actually put it up to your mouth, and like, it will empty out gradually. You just go like this, it empties out once, you go again, it empties out twice, you go again, it's fully empty. You know, same thing with food. You can, like, I have a fork, you can, like, put on the actual plate. The plate is stuck to your hand, fair enough, but, like, you can still put it. And then the plate, obviously, the model changes. There's, like, a meat on your fork or whatever. You can, like, put it up to your mouth and eat it. And it actually heals you in game as well. Like, it's really cool. And I would do that shit all the time. And that's, like, arguably way more cringe than this.
He wandered through the desert, but when he stopped to drink some water, he was snuck up on by rad scorpions. Like with everything else, he took time to deliberate.
Just started shooting him right away. What do you mean deliberate?
I can't sprint because my legs are broken.
Wait, whoa. We talking about immersion, weren't we? Where'd the immersion go? He didn't even install, like, no pause menu button. Or no pause menu mod. He didn't even install that? What? What we talking about immersion? Literally fucking opens his fucking thing and just fucking drinks a billion fucking rad colas or whatever they're called.
Again! Fuck!
Lamar.
When the NCR found the bodies in Nipton, Luke's body had already been consumed by the desert. Ivan always considered himself lucky. One day decided he would head to the strip and show the world.
Yeah, again, I could definitely see. Is he just gonna, like, do, like, roleplay for the next yeah? It looks like he's just doing roleplay for the It's just a bunch of roleplay. That's pretty much it for the video. I think just trying to convince you to. He tried to convince us the reason behind it.
Really, 2,000 caps.
He's just basically telling stories now, which, you know, roleplay stuff.
That door again, I'm gonna loot his corpse.
Yeah.
That.
It's basically just a gameplay video.
Permadeath much of a chance in bigger games like this, and the result depending on what kind of water you use. As of writing this, I also installed another mod. It was the Lowe's to.
Yes!
The actual commentary over it, that's what I want to hear.
Fuck you!
This is just gaming currently. Bro's just
so
gaming.
much more.
It's like Lowe's to find the highs. As with many forms of media, especially games, the lows define the highs. The feeling of being one-shot killed by a deathclaw or dying to 3 raiders because you didn't manage your positioning right sticks with you.
Yeah, or again, dying to a deathclaw because you couldn't do anything. You can't outrun it or anything like that. You're fucked. And then again, raiders because you didn't manage your positioning right. I don't think that's the issue most of the time. Because sometimes you will literally peek out and get one-tapped. Like, it doesn't matter your positioning because the AI knows exactly where you are at all times.
Was in all honesty,
they'll just, most of the time, they'll just blindly, unless you have, like, a bunch of mods installed again, they will most of the time just go directly blindly to you and start pounding on you. There's nothing you can do about it. No position, especially like a game like Skyrim, where just basically the only way for you to beat them is just, you know? Or again, the thing that I did, which is the only thing that's actually doable in VR, surprisingly enough. Well, not really. It's just the mods that I have. I don't know what the fuck happened, but every single enemy one-taps me in melee. I don't understand how that's possible. I would just go for a stealth archer, or just an archer in general, because like actually being, like I had mods installed that would let me like parry attacks and shit. It was really cool. The issue is the enemies took no damage from my sword for some reason. From the arrows they did, but from the sword they took like no damage, and and I would take just infinite. I would literally get one tap. Like I did not understand why that was happening. Like as soon as they switched to sword and shield, I instantly had to quit because I was like, I don't want to be a stealth archer anymore. I'm bored of it, but I can't do the other thing either. You know, because it's straight up unfair. So if I install it again, I'll probably have to like tweak some mods and shit. We'll see.
Fight.
No, I can't react to that again. I literally reacted to it already once. Why the fuck you want me to react to it? Like, I'm gonna do that react to it for 24 hours straight.
With moments of fear, exhilaration, and at the end, catharsis. As of writing this, I also installed another mod. Water for fast travel requires water to fast travel. Some mods use money for it, but I
again, why doesn't he have the mod that like stops or like continuous time. When was it? I don't know. You guys asked for it. Isn't that the Baldi song?
Limited yet inexpensive. If the fast travel was really cheap on money, the mod would be pointless.
Or is that another
if it was
fucking
too
one?
expensive, it would greatly slow down the pace of my gameplay. You have to find someone who can sell you the water,
Yes, yeah.
or loot it, or steal it, or
I already
whatever.
reacted to it sometime.
Something
I don't remember
like
when it
is that
was.
every fast travel
I'm definitely not making a video out of it. Fuck no.
is at least £1, depending on what kind of water you use. So stocking up on water and storing it or giving it to a companion to carry is extremely useful and also feels like
Is that a
something someone
Glock?
in
God
this
damn, man.
world would do.
You know, I wish I could get a Glock instead of this shit, right? But unfortunately, the Glocks are too expensive. They cost like what, $200 or something for a replica because they're full metal. There's no plastic variant. This is like one of the few plastic guns they actually sell. Most of their guns are actually metal. The place where I bought this from, and those cost obviously hundreds because it's full metal. You know, this only has the insides being metal.
I bought out a water merchant at one point, and I realized I was carrying an extra 30 pounds of water. I forgot there was a water merchant in this game, and I never would have spoken to them if I didn't have this mod. It also accounts for distance.
I mean,
So
to be fair, like in Fallout games, I would always fucking carry a bunch of water around because it was the best, or like one of the best ways of healing.
if you fast travel from a very short distance, it doesn't cost anything. I cannot recommend these mods any more highly. They have completely transformed my experience of these games. I've never really given permadeath much of a chance in bigger games like this, and
I would honestly play like Fallout and stuff like that, like this, or at least in the sim. I wouldn't turn on permadeath, but I'd still like, you know, basically, I wouldn't like quick save or anything. I'd probably like save between encounters or at a bed or something like that only. Or like only save when you sleep, because the only issue I have with like all Bethesda games is, why the fuck isn't there just like a mod? If someone knows if there is a mod, leave it like in the comments of this video or whatever. If there's a mod that makes it so I die in a few hits and the enemy dies in a few hits, and it's always consistent no matter what level you're at, right? Like, just remove levels from the game, right? Basically. And just make it so, you know, basically it's like a tactical game. I know it destroys the purpose of an RPG, but regardless, I prefer RPGs that let you more like change your build and stuff like that, rather than like actually decide if you're gonna win or not. I don't want an encounter to be a stat check, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm able to, like, for example, I don't know, if I have 3 companions, right, and there's one guy, I don't care if he's level 80 and we're level 1, we're fucking taking that guy out, you know what I mean? I don't want to be fucking pounding on him for 10 hours. That's why I fucking didn't like the thing. What's it called again? Skyrim VR at the end, because like I reached a point where I was like, okay, well, now for some reason, even though I'm higher level and they're higher level, I'm still like doing no damage because it's just so poorly balanced. And like I could not find a single mod. I found mods that made it like even harder, but I found no mods that made it easier for me to like kill enemies. Because if I get one tapped, I want the enemies also to get one tapped. I think it's only logical, or at least like 3 tapped or something.
Results have been absolutely incredible.
I'm not reacting to
I now
queso,
actively
bro.
seek out mods for games I like to add it, and I hope to see even more of it added as optional modes for games in the future. I think these modes are super underrated, and seeing that Breakpoint doesn't have a ghost mode is a little heartbreaking to me. Even if you're not that good at games, consider bumping the difficulty down and giving this a shot if a game you love is getting a little
I don't know. I think I just prefer to bump the difficulty up, honestly.
stale because you played it so much. It's like throwing in a
Hello,
spicy
Enzo.
ingredient. It can really enhance the final product, even if it comes with a kick. Thank you as always for watching. If you want
funny.
to see more, consider looking at my YouTube
No, it does
membership.
mean I'm sorry.
Or let me know if I should pursue some other support methods. I've been thinking about making a Patreon, but if nobody wants it, I'll save myself the embarrassment. As always, I appreciate your time. And
Yeah, he's on YouTube currently, Enzo. I didn't know you were related. Alright, well, that was a good video. Didn't convince me, but that was good.